what we can all do for all veteran business owners is promote each other.
My main mission was to look at tools of technology to leverage small business and give them more of a competitive advantage.
My mission for Veteran Bargains is very simple: to help vets.
That story in itself, to run for Vista City Council, is a journey.
I think this is an opportunity to really collaborate with those gone before us.
It's really kind of a labor of love.
And now your host.
Welcome to the Veterans Radio Show and Podcast. This is your weekly show that features military veteran spouses and community leaders while they're exploring community action, heroism, and leadership for those that are making it happen. On this particular episode, we get to experience in real time a business consultation with our very own founder and CEO, Joseph Molina. So thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to getting your comments as well as your questions. But right now, let's dive in straight into our conversation, and let's get a free consultation here in real business experience. Joseph Molina, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Laura. It is my pleasure.
Thank you. And we always get to experience, collaboration and to hear you lead us through different programs and all these things. But I don't think we have ever taken the time to really pick your brain and ask you questions, how to be more productive, how to really launch and engage into our business, or even taking it all one step back in how do we start to begin with, right? So let me ask you one very first question. What is the business owner mindset that, based on your experience, we can all adapt?
Well, that's a really great question. I think, based on my experience, all it starts with the mindset. Sometimes I encounter business owners or clients in the past, and when they come and talk to me, they say, I want this, I want this, I want that. The mindset is a shift from wanting something, which when you come from the perspective of wanting something, what you're saying is that you don't have it. So the mindset of I want something, I wish I had something, I hope I will have something, is a mindset of lack. We're lacking something. So having the mind shift that says, that I have it already, having a positive mindset on things that I wanted, not because I want to have something that I don't have now. I want to switch my mindset that states, that shows that what I'm getting is already there. So when someone comes in and starts a business, the first thing I ask them is, what is your business? What do you want? And I see that in the first 5 seconds, if they tell me exactly what it is that they want, I know that they have in their mind the clear idea, the clear picture of what it is that they are going for. Not necessarily what they want to do. I have a lot of people that come and say, well, I want to start a business. I would like to start a business, and they don't have the 100% conviction that this is really what internally they want.
So
of course,
it's almost like daydreaming. Let me stop you there real quick. It's almost like daydreaming and actually then waking up and making it happen. Because a lot of us just we can sit there through the classroom, right? And just daydream, and those are like wishes, right? But then eventually the mindset will come once you start taking action. Am I correct?
That is correct, Laura. And in our world, we call that visualization. And visualization helps create the business concept, the business idea onto the different aspects of the business. Gotcha. And because we're creating that in our own universe, in our own set, in our own mindset, it starts to create details. The more detailed our concept is, the more clarity that we have on the concept that we're looking for, the easier it is to materialize. Now, I'm going to share with you one of the concepts of the mindset approach. We call the alignment. It's an alignment on different aspects and processes to change the mindset. Visualization is key for the process. It's like the butter that keeps the cookie together, kind of, if you will. So visualization is important, very, very important. But the parts of it are it's like a formula. So the thoughts that we create, the thoughts that we have, create emotions. The thoughts create emotions. The emotions or feelings create beliefs. And then those beliefs, all those three are internal. And then the beliefs creates vocalization, and then the words. And then the words then is the action. So, and that's the flow. It's like having things in alignment. It's like when you put in a Lego pieces together. If they're in line with each other, they'll fit. So if your thinking process is in line with the way you feel about it or about yourself, and then that feeling creates a belief that you are who you are, that you want to be that way, that you want to be that business owner or that consultant or that instructor or that business success. And then that belief creates a type of language. When you talk to people, they sense you in your language, your passion, your drive, and your clarity of words. And then that also starts creating the action.
Yeah.
So that alignment is key.
That's fabulous. So it's almost like in my terms, in my world, right? It's all about the puzzles, right? Putting the puzzle together. If there's one piece that is missing, then you can't really finish it up. You got to go through the whole process. You got to do all the different steps, 1, 2, 3, right. And then really visualize and complete and engage and just execute. Now, let me ask you, what type of business ideas are the most ideal or the best ones that those of us who are daydreaming can start with?
Well, rule number 1, there is no bad business. Every business is and could be successful. If you look around and you can think of any business that you can think of, oh man, this is a crazy business. I almost guarantee you that someone somewhere is doing it effectively. For example, you have like in restaurants that they have plants, or hotels that have plants, and on the lobby and places like that. And you would think that these hotels or these restaurants own those plants. But in many cases, or in most cases, they do not. They lease it from a company who owns those plants, and they come and change them. That is a kind of, at one point, there was a crazy idea that actually happened.
Right.
Uber is another crazy idea that, like, what would, who would do that? Who would, create something like that? But now it's very successful. So what business to start? And that's to answer your question quickly. What is the best idea with business to start? I will go back to the formula I just gave you. What's in your mind? What's in your emotions? What do you believe fits you? And what out of that creates your personality, or what type of business fits you best. Most people that come and say, I want $100,000, or $1 million, or I want this and that. If money is the only motivator for a business, it's going backwards. Money is not a business goal. Money is just an outcome of doing business. The business it has to be from the internal side of it, from the passion of doing the business, and it is a reflection of that individual.
So it's almost like your reward. Like at the end of the night, when you start prepping for your meal, for your family dinner, you go through a lengthy process, and it's dirty and it's messy, but at the end, it's a great outcome, right? Everybody gets to sit on the table, enjoy a nice family meal. And then, of course, the satisfaction that you spend quality time. So,
oh my gosh, yes. And you're totally right. That's a great example, because meeting with so many clients, I sometimes sense there are two things. I sense their lack of clarity on their business idea. And 2, I sense a desperation of making this deal happen. Those 2 are toxic. They're totally toxic mindsets. I don't work with them. I don't work with people like that, because it drains other people. So, but that's also a self-regulating. If you feel yourself that you're not clear on what you want, go back, rethink it. Like you call it daydreaming, I call it visualization. Visualize how the business look like now and later, 10 years, whatever, and you start visualizing that, that will give you the sense like if the business idea is clear, you're on the right path. And the other one is if you feel desperate when you're talking to customers, if you feel desperate when you go and talk and go to a meeting because you're looking for the next dollar, then that's also a red flag. Like, watch out, because people will sense that. People will sense the eagerness of someone trying to sell you something. And most of us will walk away and will be totally turned off by that approach.
Yeah, absolutely. So so the key is not to sell, is to find a solution to someone's problem. Did I learn right?
That is correct. That is
perfect.
Correct.
Now, let me ask you now, in this whole business startup world, what is the main obstacle that sometimes people find when starting a new company or starting a new venture?
Well, that's also a great question. Most people think that the worst or the biggest obstacle is financing. They don't have, there's always lack of money. We'll have that. and the other part is, who is going to buy my product? But the main obstacle, and I like the concept that you said earlier, if you find, and I'll tell you that I'll put this in a nutshell so it is clearly identified. In a business, you have to have one or the other or both. One, you have to have customers willing and able to buy what you have to offer. Then your job is to basically go and look, identify the product that your potential customers are willing and able to buy. That's one way. The other side of the equation is if you have a group or a set of customers or a group of people that you understand and you know what they need or what they want or their struggles, then if you are entrepreneurial mindset, you go out and search for the product or service that they need. So having one or the other is key.
Should you always have in mind that you want X amount of customers right away, or what's the best way to just get through that hurdle of thinking that you might not sell?
Well, one thing that I always say is sell it before you make it. And you heard me say that before. Sell it before you make it. What that means is you got to go and do it. You can put in a business plan all day long and get an MBA doing a business plan. That's not going to help. You got to go and try it. You got to go and do it. If you think baking cookies is going to be a success, and it could be a success, then make the cookies, sell them, and see what the reaction of people is when they see your cookies. Because maybe people really love your cookies, or maybe people just won't. But you have to try it. So always sell it before you make it. Also, when, let's say the example of the cookies, if you want to see the response of potential customers, and let's say your cookies are going to be sold in restaurants or like Starbucks or restaurants like that, which they all buy from third parties. And then if sell them, go approach them and say, I have these cookies, will you buy them? And I can provide this many, and see if the response that they have about your business idea. So sell it before you make it is key component of this. And being truly about approaching it from the perspective that I already have it. I already have cookies. Will you buy them from me? Even before you make the investment. I see a lot of business owners that also go and do the investment first. They build the factory to make the cookies. They buy the trucks to deliver the cookies. They hire the people to make the cookies, to hire the manager to manage the people who are going to make the cookies. And that's a huge investment, even before you know you're going to be successful. I like my approach of going first from the aspect of getting the customer or the potential customer engaged with you and connected with you.
So in other words, start thinking about it, visualize it, and then now that you have this company, when is it a good time for you to incorporate?
Well, now that you have gone out and say, people are responding, let's keep the example of the cookies. People are responding to my cookies, they really want to buy them, and I have potential clients, or I have clients signing up to buy my cookies. The best way in the correct time to incorporate or to form an LLC, in my opinion, I'm not an attorney. This is not an advice, and this is just my opinion, is right away. When you set up a company, there is liabilities that you have to cover. And if you're set up as a company or as a corporation or as an LLC, it is important that all your assets are protected before you move on. So when is the right time to start? Right the moment that you develop your first customer base and you perceive an interest of making sales, that's when you do it.
That's great. Now, how to find core customers base to make sure that you stay in business? What's the best way to do that? And this question was submitted, by the way.
Well, the best way to identify, there's three aspects on how to identify customers. You mentioned earlier about satisfying people's needs, and that's true. There's three types of businesses. One is the one type of business. People want things. Two, things, the need type of business. People need things. And three is the must type of customers. Those customers have to have what you offer. So the best way to approach or to identify customer base is to find out which cluster of customers, regions by geography or by cohorts or demographics, which type of customers are already looking for what you plan to offer. There's a rule number one that I have in business, that business owners do not sell and business owners do not educate. So you want to find people who are already buying the product, similar product that you want to sell, because they're already in the mindset of buying. We are a culture of buying customers. We already do that. So someone trying to sell you something is not effective. So find the customers. You can do this through research. You can do this through Google keyword search, and find the customers who are looking for that product that you're trying to offer, or who are asking questions online on social media about having that issue. Give you an example, the cookies again. So if you want to buy those cookies and say, well, I want to sell these cookies, I want to find out if people are really looking for cookies, what kind of cookies are they looking for, and how much are they willing to pay for those cookies, and how many people are looking for the type of cookies I'm trying to make. That's one question. The second question is, okay, so now I'm selling cookies, but what type of cookies, what's the majority of people looking for in the type of cookies? Maybe you have customers who are looking for cookies who are calorie-free, carb-free, gluten-free, soy-free. So if that is your potential customer base, then you want to identify that segment of customers. And that's important. Once you identify those customers, then you will have what is called a niche. And it's 10 times easier to sell to a niche than it is to try to sell to the whole wide world. When we start a business, we want to identify that niche, and that's what makes the core customer. And that core customer, just to wrap it up, that core customer has to be a customer that really want what you have or really need what you have.
Yeah, and I would imagine once you build that core customer base, then the referrals come in automatically, right? You have happy customers, then everybody starts referring you and bringing
Right.
you their own
true.
friends.
And that's the ideal type of business. But again, when we start a business, I definitely suggest not to rely on that, because customers may or may not refer you to anything. You know,
It's true.
so
It's true. I don't like to refer family to my business. No
Exactly.
business done with family, because then
yeah,
many broken things can be done.
Family-
Emotions get involved, and then how do you submit for a return with your own brother's company, right?
right.
So
No.
Now
That's rule number 3, Laura.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We say we don't do business with friends or family.
Yes, and rely to for them to be the very first list of customers,
No.
startup to begin
No.
with. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
So I do have a question. Another question that I've heard out there, and I think I've heard you mention a couple of times, is what is the Waterhole effect?
Oh, excellent question. When we start a business, we want to market to our business to customers, and we go out and push the marketing component to them. That's a very uphill battle, and it's very expensive. We do it all the time, through social media, and we promote it. That's fine, but that should be about 75%. If you were to doing a pie system, 25% should be about promoting that business, making people aware that we exist. 75% is about location, location, location. And I don't mean physical location. Location means that you place your business, you place your message, you place your business identity inside that cohort of customers I told you about before. Yeah. So if you're looking, for example, to your cohort customer is the organic product-based market. So bringing those to you is expensive. But if you go and place yourself in the areas where the cohort of people who are organic product driven, then you are placing your business right where they are. So the Waterhole effect is placing that solution where they are, not to bring them to you, but bringing yourself to them.
So you got to reach, you got to get to the freeway where all the traffic is.
Exactly.
You got to
place. Yeah, absolutely. You're totally right. Let's, if you are in the old fashioned, let's say you are in a stadium, so you want to bring the business to your stadium. Your background was fine. Don't worry about it. You bring your business to the stadium, and not necessarily the audience out to you in your business out there somewhere.
Gotcha. Well, that's great to visualize and to put that. So this is a great consultation. So how can we get a hold of you or explore a little further the best way to really get into that business mindset and own it?
Well, we do have a kind of incubator format where we kind of walk all these concepts through with people. Because again, I believe people know what they want. They just don't know it yet. So having that mindset change first, everything else is easy. If you know exactly what you want, you're 90% there. You're 90% there, because doing business is easy. Making money in business is simple. We make it complicated, but if you have a way, and we do, to kind of outline and disseminate and explain the process step by step and walking the people through the process step by step, that's huge. Like, we teach people how to set up businesses and how to get the licenses, but that's great. That's great knowledge. But what if we do it for you? So you don't have to worry about it. So we teach about people how to ask for money on financing. Yeah, we give you that knowledge. But what if we bring you the lenders? Easy. What if, teach you how to create customers or how to market to customers? Well, that'd be great knowledge. But what if we take you to where they are? Like, for example, if you are in, let's say, this is just an example. Let's say you want to promote your business or service to the military. So, well, how do you do that? Well, instead, you can bring the military to you, but what if we help you create a Waterhole in a military base? Bring your service or product to a military base. That's just one example. Same thing with the school systems. Schools are also another type of Waterhole. So besides teaching people how business works, we also do it for them to make it easy for them.
Great. This is really great knowledge. And so I hope that everyone can take advantage of these business in a box, the next cohort, as well as the entrepreneurship and all the resources and the tools that they have available by just connecting with you, but also participating directly at the chamber upcoming events.
Oh,
so
one more thing.
What's next? I was going to ask you, what's next?
One more thing, because when people sign up for these courses, we believe on the step-by-step process, and also having a business coach helping the business owner kind of go through the process, because we can learn all day long, but unless we have someone to coach us along the way, things become very complicated. So we simplify that by assigning you someone who's been there, done that, and it walks you through the process step by step. So they get a coach. Now we make deals with business coaches. So every business coach that works with either one of our members or our, they, you know, some of them have fees, but we make sure that the fees are feasible and that they also pay forward. So they pay back to the foundation so we can continue helping other veterans, so or other participants, military spouses or anybody like that.
And if I've heard, but and I know that that's a really great way to, you know, as we wrap it up, you at some point, either future business owners or those trying to explore the business mindset have to decide, because if I heard you correctly in the past, you have to spend money to make money, correct?
Well, here's the thing on that. It takes money to make money.
There you go.
That's what I said.
That's what you said. I was listening. I was listening.
Yes. And what that means is every dollar you spend on anything, every dollar you use, you want to make sure that that dollar is going to bring you 3 back. Because I see people spend a lot of money on things. They buy huge things. They buy on the potential that sometime paying off. That's not what I mean when I said it takes money to make money. What I mean is, if I'm going to spend $1 somewhere, it's because that dollar is going to bring me 3 back. That's the real investment. Anything else is just an expense, an overhead. And as you know, I don't believe in overhead.
Yeah, no, we got to be cautious, frugal, and strategic about spending money. So thank you. Yeah, we got to believe it. So thank you so much for your time and for educating us, for doing this one very unique business consultation to our community to make sure that we are exploring and most importantly, engaging in real business practices so that they can lead to, to actual discussions, but most importantly, to actually transcend further into actions and making it happen, which that's what this weekly radio show is. We feature military veterans, spouses, and community leaders who are exploring heroism, action, and leadership for those that are making it happen. So thank you so much. We look forward to hearing from you again next week. Anything else that we can share, Founder?
Well, just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to share some of the insights.
Absolutely.
And we're here to help.
And we look forward to, seeing definitely this program and as well as the entrepreneurship programming that is designed for 2021, get a little bit more visibility and most importantly, impact our community a little bit further. So thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you, Laura.